All right. Check one. Okay, so if you were just joining us a moment ago, hopefully you will come back. We had some technical difficulties. I know this is booting up, and so we had some technical difficulties trying to do the multiple stream. That's what happens trying to one man trying to add in everything, and so we are going to start everything from here. So right now. I am trying to add our guest. So I'm right now. I believe people will come back, but let me let's see. See, can get. I mean, I should be able to find you though. Oh, you know what? I'm putting you in wrong. That's why. There you go. Okay, so you should see something in a minute. So if you're joining us, as we said before, we had some technical issues trying to do the multiple feed. Ideally, we wanted to be able to stream on our Instagram and Facebook and get everybody together at one time. Unfortunately, however, because of just trying to be able to be able to add in and whatnot, that it didn't what's the name, it didn't. So I see you, Erica. Let's see if you come in now. There we okay. All right, so connecting, and in a minute I should be. There we go. Hey, Erica,
Hey,
how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Other than the fact of having technical difficulties, that's the things what happen. We're trying to do new stuff. So, but yeah, so everybody who's joining in, if you join in, tell everybody we're still here. We just had to switch gears. Things happen, but glad to keyword that has been said time and time again in the season right now. Pivot, and so that's what we're doing right now. Switching over. Uh, as you can see, I'm joined right now with Erica Bradley. Erica is a model, an actress. I don't want to go into more detail myself. I love you to let everybody know about yourself, but she is definitely someone that I've been able to glad and I'm able to connect with, and is happy to have an opportunity to join into the live today. So, Erica, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
My name is Erica. I got into modeling probably, I think, 5 years ago, and I actually didn't have any intentions into getting into modeling just because I didn't think that I was good enough. And actually, a guy that has become my best friend did my first photo shoot, and he said that he isn't that I was a natural. I need to get into it, pursue it more, and so here I am today, and I model and I also act.
That's awesome. Now, I think we first connected, I believe it was via Facebook, one of the Facebook groups that you had reached out about being interested, and I contacted you about doing a photography session. So, that was actually just last year. But since then, I've personally been glad to be able to connect with you, and you're the first session I actually did at our shoot location that we use, which was here in South Carolina at Taylor's Mill. Taylor's Mill is a really great place, a really awesome place to do some shoots, and that whole warehouse vibe, and just the different ways you can be able to interact and intermingle with that. It really was awesome. What did you think about our shoot location and things in the shoot?
It was amazing. It was a great location. There were so many places you could take photos and so many, like, I guess, rustic areas. It was I loved it.
Right. So, we I think we did at least 2 hours. I mean, I think we really kind of had set for maybe an hour and a half or so. I think we did at least 2 hours, not 2.5. By the time we finished through. But like you said, it was really great. It really kind of gave a great vibe and kind of gave you different perspectives. I think I've shot a couple more times there since then, but it has kind of become one of my one of my favorite places just because of the diversity of the room and being able to do that. So, is there a particular just shoot in general that you've enjoyed being able to be a part of so far?
Um, Besides your shoot, which I absolutely loved your shoot, and I find that a lot of times my sessions go a lot longer than I initially planned, but I'd have to say I really loved shooting in Noda, and I probably wrong Noda,
Yeah.
um, Charlotte,
Mm-hmm.
and I like the I guess the art on the walls. I don't think you would call it graffiti, but I really like the art on all the walls, and
Right.
so I
Cool.
gotta be shooting in Noda.
I gotta keep that in mind. I've been up there. I haven't actually set up any shoots particularly uh, up there at the moment, but really have I checked it out a couple times and really looking forward to being up there myself. So um, did modeling come before you started to get into acting? Did acting come? Like how did one roll into the other?
Well, modeling came first, and I always have thought that acting was something that just happens in your life, and little town people like me will never have a chance to do anything like that. But I started in the background of movies and shows and stuff like that. And I started working my way up, and I've been in a few short films. Um, I've been in a recent one that's set to be released here soon, and I was in a Lifetime movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's You Can't Take My Daughter, and I was the stand-in, photo double, stunt driver, hand double, and I just did everything. Anything me to do. I've been stunt drivers in a couple of movies and shows, which seemed to be really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I've driven my car in two two movies. No, a TV show and a movie. So Black Lightning, I've been in
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yep, I've been in that show twice, and my car was in it once.
Okay.
Um, it's just I decided one day I woke up and I was like, you know what? I don't want to work a normal 9 to 5 job. I want to actually do something I can be proud of my. Which I mean, 9 to 5 jobs, yeah, you can be proud of those, but
Right.
desk work is just not for me.
I got you.
So, I worked my butt off, and I worked my way up to becoming a stand-in, which is the next level up, but it's still just the second tier on the totem pole.
Right.
So, I'm working on making a reel and getting all that together. Um, it's been amazing, and I tell everybody, the first one I did, the first background one gig that I had, I was on the way to Georgia. I turned around, or I pulled over 3 times to turn around because I was like, what am I doing? I can't do something like this. But then it started working out, and I I've gotten to know amazing people. I've gotten amazing connections. Get to hang out with actors and actresses all the time, and it's pretty cool.
Well, cool, cool, cool. So, I mean, it's always, interesting to hear, especially in sense of how people transition, how like you said, you started off with modeling, and you've only really that would mean that most of this has been in just like 5 year span, pretty much. That you gone from modeling, you went from just kind of showing, just like probably just somebody asking, you did it from there, and go from that to now, being kind of, building acting career and being able to be in certain things. Like I'm thinking, like you have when you say like light now, I'm thinking in my head. I usually follow that very much. I'm thinking in my head, trying to rewind the episodes in my head. In a sense of like, okay, where can I remember seeing her face and think that maybe it was her? But yeah, truly, that's really awesome. So, of course, I know as everybody else, that pretty much with this pandemic, that's probably has slowed down a lot of that stuff right now. So, how is life for you? I guess you say now, right now, during our quarantine and lockdown.
I'm sorry. My phone cut out just a little bit there. Can you repeat the question?
Oh, no problem. I said, so how has life been with you now, while we're in this quarantine lockdown, with the changes, of course, that's been going on.
It has been extremely different. I have absolutely no work. So the film industry has shut down completely. So we actually, on the last gig that I had, SAG or the union was breathing down our back trying to get us to stop, and we just needed a couple more scenes. So we literally crammed about a week and a half worth of work in 2 days. I think we worked 16 hours the last day or something close to that.
Wow.
It was crazy, but I love doing it, and I like going out there and being able to do it. So
Right.
it was fun, but the pandemic has really affected everything, and everything shut down. There's no work, so it's really hard.
I got you. And of course, obviously, for us, it had, we've had engagements that pretty much have either been postponed, rescheduled, or canceled altogether just because it changes. And I think it's one of the things we learn, or we're learning as we go on, just how this thing has really rocked things. I mean, of course, the fact that we want to be health conscious and health minded in the sense of how easily this thing spreads, but just even from a entertainment perspective of what we do, whether it's the photography side and camera side and the actors, everything that's involved. Shutdown like this means that we really can't do much of anything right now, and we can't really do any type of particular, like I haven't shot. Pretty much my last shoot was literally probably I think the first or second weekend in March, and I squeezed that one in. And since it was a group shoot, so we squeezed that one in. That was right before everything kind of shut down, like completely shut down. And so we haven't even pretty much shot for over a month now. And granted, we had the opportunity to be able to share a lot of the materials that we've done so far, but it's technically what's saying. You have some fans yelling at you here. I don't know if you can see the feeds and stuff and whatnot, but yeah, so it's been kind of hard for us too. So what has it? I know from we talk from a job perspective, and we talk, of course, about the gravity of that, but from a health perspective, though, I think if I remember correctly, we talked before, just in dialogue on Facebook of how you need to be, how you're mindful about it, or how it's especially sensitive to you as well. You mind sharing about that, or?
Not at all. I am a type 1 diabetic, and it's an autoimmune disease, which means I'm more susceptible of getting it, and it's more likely to be worse on my body than a healthy person. And so basically, it's just I've got to keep a check on my sugars and everything, and eat healthy, eat right, and try to focus on staying healthy, staying home, even though it's really hard to stay home.
Right.
And just keep myself healthy and try to keep this virus away. Now, my sister, she is a labor delivery nurse, and she is currently in Boston, I believe. And she is on the front lines, and she has just she's seen it all with this virus, and every single time I get on the group chat or anything, she's messaging, make sure you stay home, stay quarantined. You do not want this. And I mean, they're on the front lines. They're seeing it bad. So,
Wow. Yeah, I think one of the things to keep me mindful of is that I have family in Philadelphia, which they're worried that's going to be an area that gets heavy, or going to be an incline, and so it keeps me very close to those of contacted family in regards to that and seeing how they are, and kind of doing the same thing that your sister doing, like it's, my father in particular, like just stay home,
mm-hmm.
just stay home. It's okay. But he's gonna do what he's gonna do. Also, sometimes I love him. He's gonna do what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
I know. I'm reading through. Somebody was saying how of course it's hard. They talk about how they saw some folks. Who's this TCMB photography? Is this talking about? Yeah, he's just saying how even photographers on the photographer end. I mean, a lot of times we talk about the client canceling, reschedule, but even photographers just canceling because they don't want to be out here. So it's on both ways. It's ways. But of course, and he used a good word to talk about us for as creatives. I think that word creative, you see, especially in photography, a lot of creative ways of how to work and try to find ways to do things and to keep our, I guess, creativity going. I know the first thing that I saw was during the quarantine I'm talking about particularly is the porch sessions. Did you hear about those?
I don't think so.
I mean, what happened is that the family just family was set out on a porch, and photographer would be like at a distance, like maybe almost like to their car or whatnot, and from that distance, like with their longer lenses, so they still doing shoots. A lot of them were donating it, and it's been a mixed review, not in the sense of the quality, but just more so in the safety of it, and so. It just shows the creativeness. But I know one thing that I've seen recently, and we're actually going to be doing this on Friday, you and I, which would be like a virtual shoot. And so, I've seen a couple of them done, and I know, fortunate to know that you had some of the equipment to be able to do so. I know you were wondering if you did it yourself or not. But we actually kind of talked it through, and it sounds like we really have enough of the equipment, or you have enough stuff there, and then what I would have to do here. So we're actually going to do a virtual shoot for anybody who's listening in, which basically she has the camera set up, and I'll be remotely from actually my home taking the shoot. So it'll be something new. We'll probably try to capture some video, definitely show the pictures that come out, to show how this way works, because like I said, it just shows the creativity of what can be done during this time. And so any thoughts about our upcoming shoot and this virtual shoot that we're going to be trying to put together?
I'm really nervous. I hope that my equipment is up to par. And then also I hope that I have a good enough destination for you.
Oh, it'd be fine. It'll be fine. I see we have, he can come into. You're not sure what he wants to come into. But yeah, I'm not worried about it. I mean, we could really play around with it, just as long as just move the camera around, and the angle. It's all about angles, at the end of the day. And like I said, we're just gonna have fun with it. And so yeah, really looking forward to try to putting that down. That'd be towards the end of this week. We'll do that, and maybe try to get some video from this end, or maybe get some video your end of what's going on, to be able to show the craziness that went behind trying to put it together, and hopefully have some great pictures on the back end, to show how that all came out. But is there, if I was a person looking into going into modeling or even into acting, and you could kind of say a couple words to them, not necessarily just in general about the profession, not necessarily in regards to the pandemic in that. I mean, we all know that that's an outliner, something that's unique, but just in general, if in a circumstance of just trying to get into it, what would be something that you would say to someone?
Persistence. Persistence is key. It took me over a year to book my first background gig, but once I went down there, I made connections, I talked to people, get them to know your face, talk with people, don't be shy. Um, as soon as I got my first gig, I was booking them back to back. I had at least 4 gigs a week. So get to know people, it's a lot easier, but getting your foot in the door is one of the biggest hurdles. So,
Right, right. I'm still seeing you, not quite hearing you though. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know. I don't know what happened here. Seems like our sound connection is gone. And I haven't been making any adjustments while we've been talking. Um, something's trying to keep us from giving some good information. Apparently. Um, yeah. Hold on. Okay. So people say they can hear me, but not you. Like if you look down, we'll see. I don't know. Let me do this. I'm going to disconnect real quick. I'm going to try to refresh you in. Okay. I'm going to try to bring you back in. What was that? I got you. Hold on a sec. So if you're still looking, you can tell kind of with our feed towards the end. I'm going to try to bring her back in. I know she was saying some really great stuff, so I just want to make sure to try to get it in before we sign out. So as we're talking, I'm going to try to see can I get her back connected properly. I'm going to try to finish that out, and I can take a couple questions, or we'll take a couple questions, and we'll be out. So let's see if we can get her back in. Trying to see if she can connect again and get her volume back up. And if you have any questions, any thoughts, just let us know, and I'll try to fit it in before we finish up. Okay, so I'm not seeing where I could get her back in. It must be some connection issue from her side, possibly. But I'm gonna try one more time. But it looks like oh, here we go. Erica, there you go. Okay. It was the last couple. Just if you wanted to finish off what you were saying, last couple words you were saying.
um, I have forgotten where I was.
Sorry. I know you're just saying persistence and just really just keeping the pound on the ground about it, basically, and not just being swayed by being so I guess you say assertive per se, or just being able to
Mhm.
to really be in the face of the people instead of being shy, and don't shy off. Like once it started, it kind of snowballed in the sense of being able to get repeated work. So.
And always try to work yourself up. So once you get into background, for the acting wise, once you get into background, do not stop there. Keep going, because that's where a lot of people will stop, and they'll spend years doing background work and they won't ever advance up. So always continue moving, and the same with the modeling. Always reach out to these photographers, work on your portfolio, get an agent, and apply for anything and everything you can, modeling and acting wise, because 100 no's means nothing to one yes. So you can get a ton of no's, but in the end, that one yes is going to be what matters the most.
Cool. Well, that's some really great advice. I think just in general, just knowing that just the fact of all it takes is a yes, one yes. You have 1,000 no's, but one yes could change everything. And so, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the time and for joining us through our craziness and technical difficulties that we had here. But really appreciate you joining us today. And like I said, really looking forward to connecting with you, especially, like I said, on later this week on Friday when we actually do the shoot. And so just really looking forward to having fun. And like I said, I hope that everything goes well with you and that you continue to stay healthy and be able to get back out onto the camera, back to photo camera and shoot camera. So I know I didn't say that right, but that everything stays well with you. Thanks again. Okay.
No,
All right. Cool. And so very much for joining us. We had a great and awesome time today. Join us. Our next live will be on Friday and around the same time, 12 noon. So look for it. We're going to try to work on our technical difficulties to try to narrow that down more. But definitely check back with us, HillWay Photography, to learn more about us. You can check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and now even on YouTube. So just check us out on there. And just show us. Hope that you show us some love. If you're not already a part of our feed, feel free to join our feed. Thank you again so much for being a part, and we look forward to see you again on Friday. Okay, Friday same time, 12 noon, and we'll keep being safe till then. All right. So have a great and awesome day. Bye.